Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bobby issues a warning to Marlena and Stephanie, and Kayla reveals the beget of Chanel's confinement, bearing flowers. Kate visits Abe at home. She asks how Paulina and Chanel are doing. Abe reports that Paulina blames herself for the confinement. She's at the sanitarium right now, trying to find some answers. At the sanitarium, Paulina pleads with Kayla to tell her Chanel's confinement wasn't her fault. Kayla is happy to look at Chanel's map, but she can't bandy it without Chanel's concurrence. In Chanel's sanitarium room, she tells Johnny she had a dream about being at their baby shower. They were so happy. But also, she woke up and realized they no way know if their baby was a boy or girl. They no way hold them in their arms. Johnny tearfully crawls onto the bed to hold his blubbing woman. At her townhouse, Marlena tells Stephanie that Bobby is still in control of Everett. Bobby has been guarding him up most of his life, which is why it's hard to break through. She agrees with the Bayview staff that someone who knows Everett might be suitable to help. Since they don't know anything about his family, Stephanie is their stylish bet. Stephanie agrees to do anything she can to help. When Steve comes to the police station, Jada sorrowfully says she has to bespeak him on a felony. Steve asks if the deal Justin is working on for him fell through. Jada explains the plea deal is still a possibility, but because he confessed to a crime, she has no choice but to formally bespeak him. She warns he could face 5 times in captivity. In Chanel's room, Johnny gets a call from the Hollywood director, who's veritably kind, but informs Johnny he'd to replace him. After hanging up, Johnny assures Chanel the only place he wants to be is there with her. At Abe's place, Kate pitches the idea of producing a scripted television show together. She recites her experience in the assiduity, but Abe prodigies where he fits by. She thinks after running the Salem PD and the mayor's office, it'll be child's play. She knows there'll be a literacy wind, but they make a awful platoon, and she misses working with him. Abe misses it, too, and asks for further details. Kate says Will suggested they find a design they both passionate about. Abe tells her he's hooked on body and soul. She laughs over the silly cleaner pieces, but Abe defends the kidney. He shows her some of his recorded occurrences, which convinces her they should produce their own cleaner. In the interrogation room, Steve recounts to Jada how Clyde twice crossed him at the airport after he broke him out of captivity. Also, Goldman knocked him out, and they fled. Jada turns off the archivist to tell him, off the record, that his story isb.s. She assumes Ava helped him, but Steve insists she didn't. Jada can prove that 2 people in hazmat suits got Clyde to safety during the chemical slip. He was one of them. Was the other John? Steve scoffs. Of course not. Johnny busts Chanel to the sanitarium lobby, where they run into Paulina. Paulina tells a glooming Chanel how important she loves her and will lament what happened for the rest of her life. Chanel coldly tells Johnny she wants to go home. Kayla joins them. After getting Chanel's concurrence to talk freely, she explains that Chanel's confinement wasn't due to radiation exposure. She had a partial molar gestation, which happens at generality. The fetus wasn't feasible from the veritably morning, which means she was always going to lose her baby. With gashes streaming down her face, Chanel embraces Paulina. She's so sorry for condemning her. Paulina assures her there's no need to apologize. Kayla wants to cover Chanel for a couple of months, but Paulina says the newlyweds are moving down. Chanel informs her mama they've decided to stay in Salem. Marlena and Stephanie come to Bobby's sanitarium room as he works out. He tells them to get the hell out of there. Stephanie tries to draw Everett out, but Bobby tells her to shut up. He accuses her of abandoning Everett when effects got tough. He does what it takes to cover Everett from people like her. He finds her hopeless, pathetic, and monstrous. Stephanie wants to hear that from Everett. She strongly grabs him, demanding he let Everett out. Rattled by her conduct, Stephanie backs off. Marlena says this isn't working, so they should go. Marlena tells Bobby that Everett will no way be free and safe until he confronts his own issues. Bobby counters that Everett has only made it this far because of him. However, no bone will ever see Everett again if they keep pushing. Further new series from WCTH generators. Bobby faces Marlena with crossed arms at the apartment. Abe and Kate bandy the cleaner piece's assiduity and how rephotographing in L.A. isn't an option. Kate says they shoot it in Salem with her plutocrat and hit up investors. They need to do exploration before they commit, but they really agitated. After Steve is reserved, he and Jada clinch it out before he leaves for his bail. Hail. Kayla finds Kate probing cleaner operas on her tablet at the cantina. As Kate tells Kayla of her and Abe's plans, she discovers that Body and Soul has been cancelled. At home, Paulina tells Abe she's not responsible for Chanel's confinement. He embraces her. Now, she can be there for her son. Paulina says it'll be a whole lot easier now that they're staying in Salem. At the DiMera manse, Chanel tells Johnny how relieved she's to learn the confinement isn't anyone's fault. It just wasn't meant to be. He promises they'll get through it together. She's sorry he lost his dream job. He says participating his life with her is formerly a dream come true. Alone in his sanitarium room, Bobby lifts weights. Everett appeals to him to let him out. Bobby knows what's stylish for him, and it isn't Stephanie Johnson. Stephanie marches into the police station to prompt Jada to speak to Bobby. Gabby lands in EJ's bed. Stefan's vengeance for Ava betrayal? Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers reveal Gabby Hernandez DiMera, Sherry Jimenez, will find herself on Pall 9 with Stefan DiMera, Brandon Barish, during the week of July 1st to 5th, but it'll be the calm before the storm. Now that Gabby has officially been released from captivity, she'll head home for that hot shower she mentioned. Stefan will join Gabby for some foamy scenes as they enjoy reconnecting at the DiMera manse. Of course, Gabby will be thankful to Stefan for fighting so hard for her freedom and will enjoy continuing their life together. Day spoilers say everything will feel just perfect, but DOOL suckers know there's one big problem. Stefan hasn't been fully honest with Gabby about what happened while she was stuck behind bars. Gabby thinks Stefan was completely pious to her, so she'll no doubt keep praising him for that now that her captivity stint is over. Day spoilers say Stefan will deal with further guilt over his crapulous night with Ava Vitali, Tamara Braun, as a result. It meant nothing, but Stefan still betrayed his marriage promises, and hot-tempered Gabby isn't going to be pleased when the verity eventually comes out. At some point, there's a good chance Gabby will hear the news from Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hayduke, since she's privy to Stefan cheating with Ava. Learning this stunner from someone differently could make the situation indeed worse in Gabby's eyes. Still, Gabby might have an occasion to get some vengeance, especially since EJ DiMera, Dan Feuerigel, is about to be single. Once EJ's maternity deception is exposed and he loses Nicole DiMera, Ariane Zucker, could sparks fly with Gabby next? It's true that Gabby and EJ have done their fair share of colliding, but the same could be said for Gabby and Stefan when they first got together. Gabby could fluently have a sweepstakes with EJ that leads to her falling into bed with him down the road. Stefan would be furious if Gabby betrayed him with his family, but perhaps that could be part of her provocation then. Gabby might decide to let passion erupt with EJ as a way to get vengeance on Stefan, so that's worth keeping in mind. Our day's prognostications allude that Stefan and Gabby's marriage will come with some major obstacles, so we'll bring you updates on any other backstabbings that might be brewing. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Stefan's infidelity exposure could set off a shocking chain response of drama, so don't miss what'll be after Gabby's discovery.